Om 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 Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Om Sadashiv Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayed Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahma Nidhaye Vasishtaya Namo Namaha Boliye Shri Vedavyasa Bhagavan Ki Jai Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Hari Om. We are in the 13th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita through the eyes of Swami Chinmayanandaji, the Holy Gita. And the 13th chapter marks the transition from Bhakti Yoga to Jnana Yoga. The last 6 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita are Jnana Yoga. The yoga of knowledge means integrating the understanding that the consciousness which sees and the object that is seen are one and the same. There is no difference at all. And that is Jnana Yoga. Here in this 13th chapter, very interesting. First, the difference is being spoken of. The difference, as we need to understand, is being spoken of. And then what only remains, that will be coming in the 15th chapter. So chapter 13, the summary is Kshetra Kshetrajna Yoga. Kshetra is the field and Kshetrajna is the knower of the field. For example, the Kshetra is the dress you wear and Kshetrajna is you, the person who knows what is the dress, what is the color of the dress, what is the frills of the dress, how is it stitched. All that one knows, there is a Kshetrajna. And the Kshetra is what is known. The core theme of this chapter is a discrimination between the body or matter and consciousness that knows it. Real knowledge is equal to, what is real knowledge? Sattvika vritti or viveka khyati. Viveka vritti is knowing the difference between who am I and what is not I. Kshetra, Kshetrajna, 13, 1 and 2. The Kshetra is the field, the body, senses, mind, ego, elements, and the gunas. Body, the physical body. The senses are the 5 sense organs of perception and 5 sense organs of action. Mind is the one that knows the 5 sense organs in perception and action. Ego is the eye maker, or the one that the one that identifies or gives the I tag to everything. I tag or mind tag. It can be I or it can be mind. Its job is to tag everything as I and mind. That's the ego. And 5 elements, the earth, water, fire, air, and space, these are also the kshetra. And the gunas, the 3 gunas, Sattva guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. Everything that changes is the Kshetra. The Kshetrajna is a knower of the field, the one who knows that field of changes, consciousness, self that illumines the body. Krishna says, I am the Kshetrajna in all bodies, which means in our body, the knower is none other than Ishvara, the Lord, Bhagavan. What constitutes the Kshetra? Verses 5 and 6 in chapter 13, the 24 elements, which include 5 great elements, the Panchabhutas, earth, water, fire, air, and space, 5 sense objects, seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, touching, the 10 senses, that is a sense of sight, hearing, sense of smelling, sense of tasting, and sense of feeling, and the sense of speaking, the sense of holding, the sense of walking, movement, the sense of excreting, and the sense of reproducing. 10 senses. The mind, which knows all the activities of all these 10 sense organs. The ego, the one that puts the eye tag to everything of this. Or my earth, my water, my fire, my air, my space, my seeing, my hearing, my tasting, my smelling, my touching, my feeling, my thinking, my emotions, and then my intelligence, my knowledge, my gunas, my sattva guna, my rajoguna, my tamoguna, and I am hungry, I am thirsty, I am angry, I am sad, I am beautiful, I am calm, I am quiet, I am intelligent, I am brilliant. So many people are following me. So I, my, me, everything is the ego. And intellect is that consciousness which is gathered very together and available as a steady presence of awareness to be channeled through some particular activity, through the sense organs of action. That is the intellect. And then you have the unmanifest prakriti, avyakta, comprising of 3 gunas. Along with this, there is desire. Desire is I want this, I want that. Aversion is I hate this, I don't like this. Pleasure, this gives me joy, this gives me comfort. Pain, this is very difficult for me. Then the body, this is my body, I am so many feet tall, I am so many kilograms in weight. This is the color of the body, my body, and I have got long hair or short hair. I've got a very well-toned skin. I've got very good muscles. I've got 6-pack abs, whatever it is we say about our body. Consciousness and firmness. Consciousness is the awareness of all these different elements in the mind. There's consciousness. And firmness is steadiness. Steadiness of doing something. What are the qualities of jnana, true knowledge? Verses 13:7 to 13:11, they are listing a series of topics which are called knowledge. Knowledge means these are the thoughts which has a light of consciousness so strongly present in it that it is also called kshetrajna, awareness itself. Because when you are so steadily purified and moving on the path, you almost merge with the final goal. Like for example, medical students in the first year are also called doctors because they are going to finish their course and they are going to become doctors soon in a matter of 4 years. And so they're called doctor even now. In the same way, these qualities are called jnana because they take us to that jnana or that knowledge of the self. What are the qualities? Abhayam sattva samshuddhihi jnana yoga vyavasthitihi danam damascha yajnascha swadhyayastap. I think something else. One. I'm chanting from maybe 16th chapter. Just a minute. Okay, we'll come to the chanting later. The qualities are amanitvam madambhitvam ahimsa kshantirarjavam acharyopasanam shaucham स्थैर्यमात्म विनिग्रहः इन्द्रियार्थेषु वैराग्यम् अनहङ्कारमेव च जन्म मृत्युजरा व्याधि दुःख दोषानुदर्शनम् असक्तिरनभिष्वङ्गः पुत्रदारगृहादिषु नित्यं च समचित्तत्वम् इष्टानिष्टोपपत्तिषु मयि चानन्ययोगेन भक्तिरव्यभिचारिणी विविक्तदेशसेवित्वम् अरतिर्जनसंसदि अध्यात्मज्ञाननित्यत्वम् तत्त्वज्ञानार्थदर्शनम् एतज्ज्ञानमिति प्रोक्तम् अज्ञानं यदतोऽन्यथा. So we will see these qualities, the meanings are already spoken of in detail in the chapter 13 of this discourse. You can find that in the list of videos. And so all these qualities are declared as knowledge. Everything else other than this, for example, solitude, no taste for crowds is called knowledge. So what is ignorance? Crowd is ignorance, because crowd brings a lot of thoughts in our mind. Humility is knowledge. So what is ignorance? Lack of humility is ignorance. Non-violence is knowledge. Ahimsa, or not hurting others, not hurting our own thoughts, mind and intellect and body, and not hurting others' thoughts, others' emotions and others' physical presence, not hurting them, is non-violence. So what is violence? Violence is ignorance. Forgiveness, forgiving others and thereby helping ourselves, is knowledge. Not forgiving others is ignorance. Straightforwardness is knowledge, whereas crookedness and being very crooked in our behavior is ignorance. So the opposite, service to the Guru is knowledge. Talking ill of the Guru is ignorance. Simple as that. Purity is knowledge. Cleanliness, tidiness, purity of the mind is knowledge. The opposite of that is ignorance. Steadfastness and steadiness is knowledge. Being unsteady in our path is ignorance. So all these qualities, and the opposite is ignorance. The object of, what is the object of knowledge? Brahman, 13th, 12 to 13:18. So 13:12 was Adhyatma Jnana Nityatvam Tattva Jnanartha Darshanam Etad Jnanamiti Proktam Ajnanam Yadatonyatha. This is called knowledge. Everything else is ignorance. That which must be known, the beginningless Brahman, described paradoxically with hands and feet everywhere, eyes, heads, mouths everywhere, perceiving all, not attached to anything, beyond gunas and experiencing gunas, inside and outside all beings, subtle and thus unknowable, far and near, undivided yet appears divided. It is the light of all lights, and knowledge and the object of knowledge. Nyeyam yattat pravakshyami yajñātvāmritam ashnute anādimat param brahma na sattanna saduchyate sarvatah pānipadam tat sarvatokshishiro mukham sarvatah shrutimaloke sarvamavritya tishtati sarvendriya gunabhasam sarvendriya vivarjitam asaktam sarvabhritchaiva nirgunam gunabhoktu cha bahirantascha bhutanam acharam charameva cha sukshmatvat tadavijneyam durastham chantike cha tat. Jyotisha, avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktamiva cha sthitam bhuta bhatra cha tadnyeyam grasishnu prabha vishnu cha jyotisham apita jyotihi tamasah paramuchyate jnanam jneyam jnanagamyam hridi sarvasya vishtitam. So we see up till here These are all, this is Brahman, the object of knowledge, a somewhat verbal description of Brahman. What is Purusha and what is Prakriti? Verses 19 to verses 23. Iti kshetram tatha jnayam jneyam choktam samasatah madbhaktaye tadvijnaya madbhavayopapadyate. Why am I giving this knowledge to you, Arjuna? Because you are my devotee, and when you know this, you become one with my state of being. And what is that state of being? Prakriti, Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Vidyanadi Ubhavapi Vikaramscha Gunams Chaiva Vidhi Prakriti Sambhavan Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Vidyanadi Ubhavapi. So, Vidhi Anadi Prakriti Ubhavapi Vikaramscha, it is modifying gunams, Vidhi Prakriti Sambhavam. The gunas which are changing emerge from Prakriti. Karya Karana Kartritve Hetuf Prakriti Ruchyate. Prakriti is the cause, the three gunas are the cause for the Karya. The cause and the effect, which is the sense organs and the sense objects that are created, which are the effects. The cause is the three gunas of Prakriti. Purusha Sukha Dukkhanam Bhoktrutve Hetu Ruchyate. Purusha is the cause of experiencing pleasure and pain. Prakriti is the cause for the creation of the sense organs and the sense objects. Karya, Karana. The subtle and the gross body. The self in the body is called the witness, permitter, supporter, enjoyer, supreme lord, and the supreme self. One who knows Purusha and Prakriti is not born again. Purusha Prakriti sthohi bhungte Prakriti jan gunan karanam gunasangosya sadasadyoni janmasu. The 23rd verse is describing to us about the name of that Ishvara, in what form is he in. Upadrashtanumanta cha bharta bhokta maheshwaraha paramatmeti chapyuktaha dehesmin purushah paraha. The self in the body is called a witness, upadrashta. Permitter, anumanta. Bharta, it is a supporter. Bhokta, it is the enjoyer. Maheshwaraha, it is that supreme lord. Paramatma, that supreme being itself. Cha apiyuktaha dehe asmin. One who knows the Purusha and Prakriti is not born again. Dehe asmin Purusha paraha. Yayevam veti Purusham Prakritim cha gunai saha sarvatha vartamanopi nasabhuyo bhijayate. What are the ways by which you can understand this Prakriti? Verses 24 and 25. Dhyane natmani pashyanti kechidatmanam atmana anye sankhena yogena karma yogena chapare. You can understand this Prakriti by dhyana yoga, meditation, sankhya yoga of knowledge, karma yoga by doing actions without expectations of result, just doing the action for the action's sake. If I have to sweep, I have to sweep. There is no drama or conversation or the whys and the what ifs and the whataboutery about that. Even those who just hear this and they want to follow it in their lives, they also cross. Verses 28 to 35, seeing the self equally in all. One who sees the same imperishable Lord dwelling equally in all perishable beings sees truly. Seeing the self everywhere, one does not injure the self by the self. Then the supreme goal is reached. The self is unborn, eternal, does not act, nor is tainted. Like space, it is not affected. Like the sun illumines the world, the Kshetrajna illumines the whole Kshetra. The whole Kshetra is the body, and everything in the contents of this gross body, subtle body, causal body is illuminated by the Kshetrajna. So, what is the key takeaway of chapter 13? Disidentify from the body mind, become the witness, the knowledge leads to liberation. The witnessing is a basic thing. It is the one that is mentioned everywhere in all texts. I am not the body. I am the one who is observing the body. I am not the mind. I am the one who is observing the thoughts. I am not the intellect. I am the one who is observing the condition of the intellect. I am not the sense organs. I am the one that observes the sense organs. I am not the bliss and the joy. I am the one that observes the bliss and the joy. So, what are the questions we can discuss here? What is the difference between Kshetra and Kshetrajna? Can you give 3 modern day examples of this distinction? Modern day examples will be the laptop is the Kshetra, and I, the seer of the laptop, is the Kshetrajna. The screen is the Kshetra, and I am the Kshetrajna. Then you have the work is the Kshetra. I, who am observing the work, observing the doer of the work, is the Kshetrajna. Any more examples? The tree outside your house is a Kshetra, and I, the one that observes the tree, is a Kshetrajna. Of the 20 qualities of knowledge in verses 7 to 11, 3 are most difficult. Which 3 are most difficult to practice in daily life today, and why? Each one of us may have something difficult. We can figure out what is difficult for us to practice and why. Why? Because when you contemplate on something, even when you contemplate with the thought that it is difficult, you are spending time about something difficult, you put in more energy and awareness. And so when you put in more energy and awareness, what actually is perceived difficult becomes very easy, and that can become our guiding light also. How can the idea, the self does not act, yet is the witness, help someone dealing with stress, anxiety, and over identification with work and results? This is where all our therapies called the cognitive behavioral therapy, the dialectical behavioral therapy, and all these forms of therapies come, where you distinguish yourself between the individual and the witness of the individual, the thought and the witness of the thought, the feeling and the witness of the feeling, the action and the witness of the action. I am not the action, I am the witness of the action. So when you disidentify, first of all, you are not disowning, you will be having the clarity, like it is very difficult to sweep the floor by becoming one with the floor. Only when you stand up away from the floor and hold the broomstick, the space between you and the floor gives you the opportunity to make the changes and corrections. That is why when they say you get too close to a person, you cannot see their faults, because you become one with them, you merge with them, and so the qualities are also merged and you cannot see it. So if you want to see someone clearly, you have to take a step back and observe them from a distance. For the sake of knowing, not for the sake of torturing somebody with distance. So chapter 13 mentions 4 paths to realization. Are they separate paths, or all the 4 parts of one path? 4 aspects of one path. Nothing is separate, because everything in this universe is only one. It is that one consciousness, and everything that we do leads to that one consciousness. So there is nothing separate. Or you may have a different opinion. It is up to you to contemplate on that. 28th verse, seeing the same Lord in all beings. How does this verse address prejudice, comparison, and conflict? So when somebody is having prejudice, when somebody is comparing, when somebody is having conflict of interest, and they're having a conflicted attitude towards others, they definitely have not got a quiet mind yet. And only when you have a quiet mind, you have access to this knowledge of the truth, the knowledge of the self. So the first What does it say about self-knowledge? It doesn't say anything. It says that if I have those qualities, then I have to remove those qualities and thereby make my mind quiet, and I will have access to this knowledge of the self. This verse addresses these qualities by not making me identify with these qualities, not saying I am prejudicial, I am always comparing, or I am a conflicted person, but separate the I and the conflict, separate the I and the prejudice, separate the I and the comparison. And then we will be able to master those qualities and remove them from our life and replace them with the elevating qualities. What does it mean that Purusha is the enjoyer but untainted? How does this resolve the problem of suffering? Purusha is the enjoyer, untainted. How does this resolve the problem of suffering? Purusha is not the sufferer. He is the enjoyer. Enjoyer means only bliss touches him. Suffering does not touch him at all. And so that's why he is untainted. And how does this resolve the problem of suffering? I detach myself from the suffering. Say, I am that blissful Purusha who is the observer of suffering. I am bliss. The suffering is there. It comes and it will go away. When we understand it this manner, we overcome suffering also. If you had to explain Kshetra Kshetrajna to a 10-year-old using one object in the room, which one would you use and how? So I would use this. I have a nice object here. This ball is a Kshetra. This smiley ball is a Kshetra. Can you see? And the big eyes of the smiley ball is a Kshetra. And who's seeing the smiley ball? The child will say, I am seeing the smiley ball. So I is the, you are the Kshetrajna. I remember this when I did this Gita Jnana Yajna in Chinmaya Kripa in around just before the period of COVID, I think. Yeah, 13th chapter. It began on Gandhi Jayanti, the year before COVID began. So there were two small children. One was in UKG and the other was in second standard, I think. And the one was in LKG and the elder brother was in second standard. And they came and sat for the yajna with their father. And I was so amazed because the whole chapter they keenly listened. All the 4 days of the yajna they came and they listened and they were talking to everybody. This is Kshetra, this is Kshetrajna. This is Kshetra, this is Kshetrajna. So it is not that children cannot understand. They can very easily understand. This ball is a Kshetra. What does this ball contain? This ball contains yellow color. This yellow color is the Kshetra, and I, the observer of the yellow color, is the Kshetrajna. Then this ball contains a smiley face. The smiley face is a Kshetra, and myself, the observer of the smiley face. And seeing the smiley face, my face also goes into a smile. So I am the Kshetrajna. The Kshetra is influencing the Kshetrajna. If the Kshetra smiles, there is a smile in the Kshetrajna also. So children, we can make it interesting to explain to children. How does it help children, this knowledge? It helps them because they learn to distinguish between who they are. And we tell we should teach so many things to children about good touch, about bad touch, then good qualities, what are all the bad qualities, whom to associate with, who to refrain from, we teach them. This is one way by which we can start teaching the children to separate from the seer and the seen. And that knowledge will greatly be helpful for them. Knowledge, what does it do? Everywhere we go, we are in any kind of a situation. We are in some kind of a difficult situation. We need help, we need protection, we call for somebody. When knowledge comes there and knowledge is very firmly rooted, that knowledge itself becomes a great protector for that individual. Wherever they may go in life, whatever they may do, whatever problems may surface in their life, that knowledge will be their protector. So this is what happens when you teach children this. Which single verse from chapter 13 would you put on your wall as a reminder and why? I would put on this wall, Upadrashtanumanta cha Bharta Bhokta Maheshwaraha Paramatmeti Chapyuktaha Dehesmin Purushah Paraha. That's the 23rd verse. Why I would put it on the wall? Because it reminds me of who is that God, who is that Ishvara. We are constantly thinking about who is God, who is God. And who is that God? That God is a seer, Upadrashta, Anumanta. The God is the one that supports everything. Seer means through the sense organs of perception, the consciousness through the mind is seeing. So that is the Upadrashta. Anumanta is whatever is seeing, whatever is being seen, the sense organs of action are following suit and doing what is required, working out our intention in life. And behind that is the mind, and behind that mind is consciousness. So as Anumanta, consciousness is doing what is required in the world outside. Upadrashta, Anumanta. Bharta, the mind that is covering both the sense organs of perception and the sense organs of action, is shining with the light of consciousness, and which is bearing the whole world. All the information that comes from the world outside is deposited in the mind, and the mind conveys it to the intellect, and the intellect is giving directions to the sense organs of actions through the brain and the limbic system, the endocrinal system. The brain is giving messages to the sense organs of action to act in the world. Anumanta, Bharta. Bharta is a bearer. Anumanta is the one who supports this. The intellect is the one that has the sankalpa. I want to do this. I want to achieve this. Anumanta, always supporting. Anugraha, holding on along with the mind. Whatever the mind is holding, the intellect holds it well for the mind and executes it to the sense organs of action. Bharta, Upadrashta, Anumanta, Bharta, Bhokta. Bhokta is the intellect, the one that is enjoying the results. The Bharta is the one that is the suffering, because the Bharta is holding it, and so it is also holding the pain, holding the whole situation, holding the world of thoughts, holding the world of emotions, holding the world of feelings, and it is also holding pain. So the mind is the one that is holding the pain. If it can no longer hold the pain, that is when it transfers it to the body, and the body releases the pain and lets it go through it outside into the world, into the complete cosmos. So Bhokta is the intellect. Maheshwaraha is that experience of bliss, complete joy, complete fulfillment that is there within. Paramatma, and over that is a seer of everything. I see the Maheshwara, I see the Bhokta, I see the Bharta, I see the Upadrashta, I see the Anumanta. The one that sees everything is the Paramatma. So for this reason, because it gives me in detail all parts of my body, all parts of my being completely, and takes me up to the supreme stature of who I am. I love this verse of chapter 13. And with this we conclude with the chapter 13. Tomorrow we will begin with chapter 14. It is the 84th day of the Holy Gita. Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet, Om Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasorma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Boliye Shri Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Har Namah Parvati Pataye. Hara Hara Mahadeva. Hari Om.